A lot of people are talking about this one right now, though. So let me see.
I come to you on the day of your daughter's wedding. I march up to you, fee-fi-fo-fum my way over, and I say, give me your house. Well, you can do a few things there. You can give me your house, negotiate to sell me your house. You can poke me in the eyes like Captain Insano, punch me in the face, fucking titty twist me. That's called a choice. You have a choice there. Your local government comes up to you and says, give me your house. Buster, there ain't no choice. Not now. Not with data centers being the most important thing to these fucking zombies in power. I know I've yapped about it a lot, but legitimately, AI data centers are actually the boogeyman. They are just a scourge on this planet and a stain on civilized society. They are these behemoths that require all infrastructure to be changed to suit their gluttony, to satiate their insatiable appetite. And doing so
What?
just pillages communities while seeing basically no benefit beyond the temporary jobs they used to build them. Always worth
How?
reminding you that the data centers that we have, except for like the big
Firstly, this is already wrong. Data centers actually provide a lot of jobs, and they don't really affect the community that much at all. They actually run like their own power. Um, and everyone says that they run on a lot of water, but they actually don't really run on that much water. It's more of like because it's like you ever get one of those ice packs you put in your lunchbox? You don't just keep pouring water into it. You just buy one and it's cold. You put it in the freezer, it stays cold. And you put it in your lunchbox and it's cold. You don't keep reusing it. So that's what these data centers use. So I don't know what he's going on about here.
biggest ones usually have like 20, maybe 25 on the high end full-time employees. And sometimes not even that much. Even the biggest ones don't have significantly more full-time employees than that. So it is a complete
Okay, so
plague
his claim is they don't have what do you say?
on communities in
They don't have 25 full-time employees per data center. Let's see what the normal average for a data center employees is. How much, how many people employ, can't type right now, employ at a data center, just a general data center. Okay, so a large one's about 35, the median's about 15 to 35, and the small one's about 15, 8 to 15. That's not bad. See, typically 250,000 square feet. That's not too huge.
significantly more full-time employees than that. So it is a complete plague on communities in which AI data centers infest. And it is just a growing problem, much like the explosive diarrhea problem, except on a much larger scale. And your local government prioritizes these data centers over you, the human beings, the civilians in which they were elected to represent and try and support. They have sold you out and are actively just selling you for parts, your land, your
So
water, your
first,
electricity.
they're selling us to make data centers. I mean, I would think that we would want more data centers because majority of the people use the internet, right? And if we don't want China to get like above us in data centers where we have to worry about what they're doing. Like I don't understand what he's whining about here.
All of it is being diverted to these AI data center demons. And I just watched a story that covered one family's lengthy battle that unfortunately ended in defeat against Georgia Power, who swooped in and told them that they would need to sell them their house, a house they had owned for multiple decades, because they were upping their power grid and needed to run lines through their property to supply to the AI data center there. And they couldn't refuse because if they didn't sell their house, they made it clear that they would just seize it under eminent domain.
Welcome
Okay.
back. Some homeowners in
Huh.
Georgia are being given an ultimatum to sell their homes, or the state will get this, take it to make way for AI data centers. CBS News correspondent Skylar Henry has more.
I'm a single mom. I worked hard for everything.
How do you put a price on a home you never intended to sell?
Well, I'd say horseradish. Hooey with that. You can't put a price tag on fun. And what's more fun than an AI data center? It's
I do not agree with government taking land though, because I don't want the government taking anything from me either. So I don't know. I'll get with that.
especially if you're at the top of the food chain. Dropping the sarcasm. Obviously, no normal person actually sees a benefit when an AI data center comes through. All of the evidence from all of the operational data centers across this country confirm that from everything I've seen. All of the data does not seem to indicate that the communities, the local communities, actually get any benefits from these data centers that get put in. It is just a burden. And now, as I've said, all of these local governments are scrambling to do what they can to ensure they get built come hell or high water and are actively shutting out the voices of the communities that they are supposed to represent and protect. It is sickening.
One
I mean, like, I don't know. It's kind of, yeah, it's like it's bothering me too. Like, I don't agree with the government either, but like, data centers do help us out, and the majority of the data centers they put in these rural areas so they don't affect people at all because not very many people live out in the middle of nowhere. There's a lot of people in the cities, and you wouldn't want a bunch of data centers in the middle of the city because I've heard that they are loud and they do have sound, but they actually been working on making them better because that's how society like big corporations work is they want to make things better so it's more people will support it. So I don't understand what this guy's logic's about.
filled with more than 2 decades of memories.
I think I was 5 or 6 when this was built.
The yard where you buried your pets. The greenhouse that fed your family.
All the emotional baggage. Of course, the news has to show all that.
when you talk about what being on this property means to you,
Yeah.
right? It's y'all's.
It's ours. It's our family. We belong here.
But Ansley Brown's childhood home likely won't
Right.
be here much longer. That's because the state's largest utility, Georgia Power, says it needs the area to make way for a 35-mile-long transmission line.
Now, if you're an AI data center cock gobbler, you might be going with the very obvious low-hanging fruit argument of, well, this is important because this is public infrastructure that will serve the community by adding these lines here to up the power grid. This is going to be in service to everyone there, thus, if they are not willing to sell, eminent domain does make sense. And this is an open and shut case. But here's the thing. They openly talk about these new lines and this upgrade. Almost all of it is solely for AI data center, not for the community. That is not serving the public. Again,
So they're building it for the AI data center, and some of it's going to go to the public and help the public. Isn't it a benefit? I mean, even if a majority of it is going to the data center because they're building it for the data center, if any excess is going over to the people, that's a good thing, regardless, because it wasn't there before. I don't understand this logic.
all of the data that is readily accessible right there at your fingertips can show you that AI data centers are not actually serving the community in a helpful way. The only people it serves, the only people it benefits, are the putrid ghouls at the top of the food chain that are behind these projects that make tons and tons of money off of it. And the local governments, well, maybe they get some doubloons.
Doesn't he make money off of because he posts on YouTube all the time and he has like millions of followers. So doesn't he benefit off of a lot of data centers? Yeah, why are they ghouls? I don't understand it either. I mean, just because people like to have you know, profitable business, that doesn't make them a ghoul. That just makes they want to, grow as a company, and when they grow as a company, they make more jobs for more people. So it benefits to everyone.
Tossed their way as well, a little bit of the scraps there to incentivize greenlighting these projects.
Georgia Power has been here for as long as Ansley's mother has owned this property. It's just beyond the tree line. Now, with the expansion of this latest project, they're looking to take the 2.5 acres the house sits on.
Georgia Power says
Right? He's
increasing
profiting
demand
from
has
the data center,
outpaced
so
the
he's calling
capacity
himself
of
a
its
ghoul.
existing grid, and building a new transmission line requires acquiring more than 300
Because without all of these, thousands of data centers in the U.S., he would be out of the job.
parcels of land, including residential properties.
What did your mom tell you she wanted for this property to be?
Generational wealth, true generational wealth was the idea, and now it's being stripped from us.
Georgia Power estimates 70 to 80% of the power on this new line is expected to help serve.
Wait, I just realized what she said. So she said her mom bought a house to give her kids generational wealth. Wait, who buys a house to give their kids generational wealth? Usually people buy a house to home their kids. What do she think she's gonna sell the house for a lot or something? Or like usually people buy a house to, take care of it for a long time, but it usually goes down in value. It never like goes up in value. So what did that makes no sense either.
Serve data centers. It says the remaining 20 to 30% of power will serve the state's growing residential and commercial demand.
That makes
70
sense.
to
Keep it in the
80%
family.
of this upgrade is solely for AI data centers, huh? Interesting. And this is what they're publicly sharing, which is oftentimes very charitable, a very generous numbers that they like to work with there. They put on a full face of makeup here to really make it seem like, no, this is like good for you actually. And even with that in mind, they still say 70 to 80% is used solely for data centers, and then the civilians, the plebeians, get the remaining 20 to 30% of this upgrade.
Which is free energy. That's extra energy. So they made it. They made a new place to get more data, to get more servers, and I'm sure they're gonna make the internet better in that area too. Because if you drive around over here in Waxahachie, the internet sucks majority everywhere because it's a rural country. So they're gonna help the society with this data center, and they're giving more electricity. That's actually a win-win.
So, I think just looking at these raw numbers, I feel you can make a very strong
Right?
argument that this is
It doesn't
not
normally translate to actual wealth for you selling, but I could see having a house from time to time where your kids won't have to buy a house, but majority of kids don't want to live in the house that they grew up in. They usually want to get married and move to with their sibling, or not their sibling, well, not their sibling, but with their significant other to another place. Nobody wants to bring their significant other into the house that they grew up in.
not in service of the community, that's an afterthought. It's in service to the AI data centers that are placing more of a demand here that you are appeasing and upgrading, and now taking over 300 parcels of land from the community and residents, including this family's cherished, beloved home. And I just don't think it's in service of the community. I think it's blatantly obvious it's not. Thus, I don't think eminent domain should even be an option on the table. Now, according to the daughter here, the price they wanted for their home to be taken by Georgia Power was astronomical, generational wealth, which they didn't want to play ball with. Instead, I imagine they went with some lowball offers, as is standard procedure when this kind of shit unfolds here, where they try and
Usually with these kind of offers, when they have like these like lines and stuff, even like with windmills, I had an uncle that this actually happened to, where they wanted to put the government wanted to put a windmill on his land, and if they have to do that, they will pay you like yearly for the amount of energy that windmill gives. And I'm sure they do the same thing with power. Like they just pay you yearly over time because it just goes a little bit part of your land. So they're getting something and you're getting something out of it, and you wouldn't be getting something out of it if it wasn't a thing. It wasn't an agreement anyways. So like if it was my land, I would just say, okay, you can put some power lines out of the back of my land, give me a percentage of it, and now I don't have to, pay rent on my house. That's a win-win. I don't need generational wealth. I just, you're paying my house payment for me, and then I can put that money towards other things. I don't see why that's a lose.
take advantage of the situation here, because there's not a choice really. As you're about to hear more in the story, this has been like a year-long battle where they were trying to purchase the house from them. They weren't wanting to sell, unless,
Right.
of course, generational wealth was an offer on the table, which, of course, they're never going to do. Thus, they were looking.
Because most people that aren't, you know, didn't grow up with money aren't great with, you know, holding money for a long time. Oh, sweet. I didn't know you could do that. That's cool. It was a little 50-bit. That's cool.
To potentially employ eminent domain to just strip it from them regardless, thus forcing them to accept the offer and sell the home to them because they don't have a choice. Basically, you are going to lose your house in this case right here. It is fucking checkmate on the board. And it's just suffocating. It's just fucking awful. And I don't think it's unreasonable to say, like,
Oh
if you
yeah,
don't
I'm
want to
using
sell it,
my PC
if you
right
really
now.
want it that bad, generational wealth is what you're
It's
going to
okay.
need to offer. Otherwise, fucking take a hike, pussy. Like, I don't blame them for that.
Georgia Power told us that they feel as if they've done this process responsibly. What would you say to that?
I disagree. You can't tear down 35 miles of rural Georgia and it not hurt something or somebody. And to say that you're doing it in the name of data centers is a slap in the
Okay,
face to
I will.
us, our community, our animals.
Brown's mother recently came to an agreement with Georgia Power to
My other question is, why are we talking to the obvious, like, what, 14, 15, 16-year-old and not the mom? Like, why aren't we talking to the mom for the interview?
Power to sell. Brown says if she didn't, the utility could have sought to acquire her property through eminent domain, a legal process that allows private property to be taken with compensation for projects determined to serve a public purpose.
Which, in my eyes, this case does not exemplify. There is no good argument, no, like, real argument you can make that an
They probably aren't showing it because they probably gave her a pretty good deal and she didn't want to take it. Yeah, exactly. They didn't say what they wanted her to say.
AI data center leeching off your community is actually serving the public in a meaningful way. Thus, I really don't think eminent domain should have even been an option on the table. I feel like you should wipe your ass with that here. But, of course, then the local government will always make the argument, no, this is actually so good for all of us. We all benefit from it. But, again, none of the data supports that. It doesn't. But, yeah,
What
eminent
data?
domain, the idea behind
What
it
data is he
is,
talking
like,
about?
highways and shit. And typically the way it's employed is, like, instead of taking entire properties, entire homes, they take, like, bits and pieces of them, like, of their parcel to, like, extend things or build things through it. It's not overly common to take entire houses like this through eminent domain, but it has happened in the past, and in this case it was something they were fearful of. I'm guessing it was something that was at least tossed around as a potential option, a last.
Yeah, probably had a last resort, and they probably gave her multiple offers. And these kind of deals, they're not like, you know, hey, if you don't make this deal today, we're gonna take your house. It's probably this deal was probably going on for, like, you know, 4 to 5 years. They were probably talking to her about this. Like, they don't just come to you that day and say, hey, we're gonna take your house and build a data center there. That's not how that happened. That's not how that works.
Resort, according to Georgia Power. And I just don't think that's right. Again, for data centers, this is not in the interest of the community. It's for their own selfish interest and their own selfish financial gain that exploits the community and actively takes people's homes. Now, in eminent domain,
I'm just wondering how this exploits the community. I mean, I've never seen a data center exploit me. Honestly, I've used a lot of AI stuff for fun. It's cool. Yeah, 100%. What they can work with you and work around you, but, like, you know, of course they're gonna. The government's the government. The government's gonna take what they want, but, you know, they'll obviously they're people too, and they will try to work with you as far as they can work with you. And yeah, I don't understand how he's saying it's like so devastating to the community. I mean, if building a data center is so devastating to community, wouldn't be building a house be devastating to community too? Because like they're they're about the same. Like if there's something saying it has like what 18 employees in it, or like at a time on a small one, that's about the size like like a what a Walgreens. Like that's not very big. So I don't understand how that would be devastating to the community. Like it's like they're in- putting horrible natural gases and like stuff into the air, or I don't understand this. Right, right. It's obviously hurting because his job is through it.
They do have to give compensation to the families at fair
Right.
market price. But there's also a little bit of wiggle room there as well, arguing what is fair market price. So, like, I don't know what they ended up selling the house for, but it wasn't generational wealth, obviously.
All power generation starts somewhere.
Holly Lovett is a Georgia Power spokesperson.
Eminent domain is always, a last resort for us, and it's something we never want to do.
To us, it's theft. It's literally a billion-dollar company stealing land from smaller people.
But they literally just contradicted it because they didn't say they stole it. They said they sold it to them. They literally just said they stole the house. They didn't lose the house. They sold it to them. So wait, how are they stealing the house?
People who can't fight back. We don't have
They have to
money
pick one or the
fight
other.
Georgia Power.
So that's why a few months ago, Ansley took her story to TikTok.
My childhood home is being taken by Georgia Power.
She began sharing stories of others in similar situations.
The Georgia Power spokesperson.
Oh, so she's benefiting from the data center with her TikTok. Uh-oh.
I'm pretty sure is powered by Claude. She is giving like the most boilerplate PR shit you're ever going to hear in your life, and can't even begin to teeter on the realm of even sounding human anymore. So anyway, she blew this story up on TikTok about how her childhood home was being taken, and I agree with what she says. It feels like theft to me as well. These are billion-dollar corporations, in this case here, billion-dollar corporation coming through, and they're taking so much land in order to fulfill the power demands of the AI data center that I know for sure normal civilians weren't championing for. I know they weren't pumping their fists celebrating because
yeah, let's get them to the people that don't know anything about the technology they're using to get them to say what we want and show that this is so bad, even though they don't realize that they're using the app from what they're building, and if they don't build what they're building, they can't have the app that they're using to whine about it. They can't have both.
no normal people with functioning frontal lobes want data centers in their community. It is bad for them. So this was already something that they didn't want, and now they're being even further impacted negatively by it. It is a slap in the face. They're taking their home. It's a forced sale. And the spokesperson even says, yeah, we don't like eminent domain. That's nasty stuff. We know that's the nuclear option. It's always a last resort for us. We don't like to do it. But, I mean, someone's got to get the dirty work done down in the piggy pen. Like, it is something, and we got to do it. So they know that families like this can't fight back, as they said. It's too expensive to go up against Georgia Power, and they know that they will lose this house one way or the other, either through eminent domain and getting whatever wacky compensation they pull out of their ass deemed fair market price, or they just take the offer of the purchase, or the sale. Like, whatever they're offering, they just have to accept because they don't have a choice. They can't fight it, and
they can definitely negotiate the price. That's a damn lie. You can definitely negotiate the price, especially with a power company that already wants to work with you, and they want good PR. They obviously would work with you.
Just a losing battle. It sucks. Like, this is a home that clearly this family has had for a long time now. It has a lot of meaning, a lot of memories. It wasn't one they wanted to sell, and it's one they fought to keep for an extended period of time, but going up against the local government, billion-dollar corporations, these vampires, it's just a losing battle. and it just shouldn't be that way. Like, again, it is very clearly not in the interest of serving the public. This is serving the AI overlords. That's it. The
AI
people that
overlords.
make money off these data centers, not the community.
Wait. 18 million subscribers? I'm looking at an AI overlord right here.
They don't see this. It's not a boon. It's a fucking curse. I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but I've been getting pretty conspiratorial on AI data centers recently, so I want to share a bit of the crack pipe I've been hitting in that regard. So get your tinfoil condoms ready.
Here it
I
comes.
was reading something that someone was sharing about, like, when an AI data center came through and the impact it had on their water, because that's a very common thing. And I've just really been toying around with this idea, and I've seen other people kind of talk about it occasionally as well. And I'm not fully bought into it hook, line, and sinker, but it's an interesting theory, a little game theory. What if the reason there's been seemingly so much more sickness, like, it feels like people are getting sick more frequently now, and a wide variety of illnesses just seem more common now. What if AI data centers are hoarding all of the clean water, because obviously they are gluttonous, like they are so thirsty with an unquenchable thirst? What if all of the clean water is being diverted to the AI data centers and the normal civilians are just getting the sludge, runoff, polluted, contaminated garbage water in their tap and everything? I don't think it's unrealistic. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility here. Like, again, there are plenty of examples of even recently when I talked about where an AI data center was like, oh, whoops-a-daisy, it looks like we were taking all of the residents' water, like significantly more than we told you guys we were.
So we're getting all the sludge water, and the AI center is getting all the good, clean water. But what about all the water that we use at the sink, and like, what about all the clean water that we literally use in plumbing in our toilet? Like, is it saying all that water is bad, and the water that the AI is getting is good? That literally has no logic to it. It makes no sense.
Whoops, it was like a rounding error. We took like so much more water than we thought because they got caught red-handed doing so. So they're like, oh yeah, we looked into it. We took way too much water. Sorry. Here, we'll give you guys some more back, trickling it down. So, like, what if they are using all of the clean water
no problem.
and you're just getting trash poopy water, just absolute shit water?
We're getting
I
the bad
feel like
poopy
maybe.
water, apparently.
Of course, I have no evidence to back that up other than just my own observations and my own little wacky ideas. But
He's
I don't
saying
know.
that he said that pretty much that his tinfoil hat is that we are getting all the bad water, and the AI data center is getting all of the good water, somehow. Like, I don't know his reasoning, but that's what he's going at. That's his conspiracy theory, which, like, makes no sense because we literally, like, it all comes to the same place. I don't and we literally use more water on, like, cows and, like, literal walnuts and fruit than any data center in the country. We probably use more water flushing poop down the toilet than a data center uses. So it makes no sense why he's gonna pick water as the thing to argue about.
They are evil enough to do that, no doubt in my mind. So who knows? Just something fun to play with as a little thought to kick around, I think. Just wanted to share that because I fucking hate data centers. I am a D1 AI data center hater, so maybe I'm a bit blindness by my madness on the whole thing. But
data center derangement syndrome.
Genuinely, everything evil about companies is epitomized with AI data centers in particular.
What do you say to someone who will push back on any sort of offer that's out there and say, well, a price tag can't replace memories?
Oh gosh, it almost makes me emotional because I have those memories in, like, my house, and I get how deeply personal people's homes are. I would just say that we see you and we hear you, and we want this process to be respectful and transparent, and that is going to ultimately benefit you.
Barbecue chicken alert! Barbecue chicken alert! Nope! I also love how she's like, oh yeah, hearing that, wow. It almost
Actually
makes
sound
me
like she
emotional.
genuinely cared. I don't know.
I almost feel something, but then I remember all the clams. I remember all the money. Like, I can't feel anything. Are you kidding me? No. Yeah, we see you and we hear you, by the way. We're not going to change anything. We're still going to take your shit, but like, we like see you and hear you, I guess. So, like, go away.
And we're gonna give you money for the house.
It's going to benefit you, don't you know? Like, this is for you, by the way. We know best. It's for you, so yeah, we're going to take your land. But, like, we, like, see you and hear you. It's a really powerful statement. Thank you so much, Georgia Power spokesperson. I almost can't help but be impressed by the gobbledygook here. Like, they openly say 70 to 80% of the power from these new lines is solely for data centers. Like, they openly say that, and I imagine it's probably going to be more. Again, those numbers are the ones they report to the public, thus they want to make it look as good as possible, and that's the best they could do. Like, I bet it's going to be north of that. But even with that,
He brought
only
this point 3 times, and it's still like, because they're building the power line directly for the data center, so it would be like, it's like, hey, if I wouldn't build a power grid for my house, and I built it directly for my house, but I get a little bit of extra, so I'm gonna give it to my neighbor, and it's only like 20% extra, but I'm still giving extra to my neighbor. I'm bad because the 80% of that went to my house because I built it for my house. It's like, no, there's no logic to it. It makes no sense.
a measly, like, up to 30% is for you, the actual civilians in the community. And I imagine the argument she's trying to make is that the data center is for you, the civilians in the community. How? It's not. Like, you could just look at the evidence of all of the other communities that have been ass blasted by data centers. It's just wrong. And I think, I at least think most people see through the deception. I don't think many people fall for this garbage anymore.
See if I can
But the problem is, the people they elect to lead in the local governments there are just already fully corrupt, and they don't care. There have been so many people protesting vocally against it, going to all the meetings, voicing their concerns, and it just doesn't listen. They don't listen. It falls on deaf ears, and they
because all of the protests are not based in reality. They're just the reason most people don't like AI and they're mad at AI is because majority of the people that actually have time to protest, they are the people that have an art degree, or they work in music, or like they work in something like artistic where they have to draw something. So they're gonna lose all their business to these AI, because it makes art. It can do their job in like a second instead of taking days. So they're scared of the AI centers because they're replacing their job, which I can understand that, but you can't say that they're bad for the everybody else just because it affects just solely these people.
and they still push all this shit through anyway, against the wishes of the community that they are elected to lead. That's just the state of it right now, unfortunately, in so many places in this country.
Brown doesn't buy that, and while she knows it's too late to save her home, she says she doesn't want to see this happen to anyone else.
My mom wants an apology. She wants an apology from Georgia Power. That's it.
We are so sorry that we gave you money for your house when you could have made a deal with us. I know, it's just the interview with just the 14, 15-year-old, not the mother. And like, they were talking to the mother a little bit part of the video, but they just completely edited everything she said out.
And it's because of how she feels as if she's been treated.
Yeah. I mean, for an entire year, they have bullied her. And there is no sorry. So that's what we want. We want an apology from Georgia Power.
Such important reporting there from our Skylar Henry. Thank
they got
you.
their,
I
they
agree.
got their,
That is important
their
reporting.
They had to get a young girl crying, because if a young girl cries, we have to burn everything, and it's the most horrible thing that ever happened in the world because a girl was crying.
reporting there. I think it is extremely valuable to showcase the impact data centers have on the locals when they swoop in here and what it does to communities. So
one of the biggest reasons why I hate the media. It's just emotional manipulation.
I always appreciate reporters that are willing to highlight this because it is a very negative thing that is being normalized now. It's just like a suck it up and deal with it type of thing. And these fucking monsters are so emboldened
100%.
that they will just out loud say that if you are against data centers, that you're the problem. I already covered this, but the BlackRock CEO, that fucking goober, man, was really loosey-goosey with domestic terrorism in regards to people against AI data centers, by the way, expecting like fucking drone strikes and stuff from civilians against data centers. So they were coming up with like counterterrorism ideas to protect data centers from.
Because there was literally a movement of people that were, since they were, Elon Musk was working with Trump, they started burning down Tesla facilities. So why would they not, if they're like getting ready to rebel against this, why wouldn't they start torching data centers now if they were already doing that to like random Teslas that had nothing to do with Elon Musk at all?
The menace of normal people being outraged that data centers came in and butt fucked them. It's just like they're just being so brazen with it. Like it sucks. I know I've yapped about it a lot. I'm going to keep yapping about it because it is out of control. It is a terrible thing. I feel terrible for this family. I doubt they get an apology from Georgia Power or the AI data center top brass or anything. At best, maybe they get like a really hollow, sorry, bub. And that's it. Or maybe they even get like a little gift basket, a little goodie bag, maybe a Jelly of the Month Club subscription or something. Who really knows? But it won't be anything meaningful at all. Nothing's gonna, have this come to Jesus moment for Georgia Power or anything. It's just fucked. It's just so degenerate. And I hate it, so yeah, I want to yap about it.
Not
That's
all
really
women
about it.
abuse power.
So, yeah.
There are a lot of them though. And with this guy, he is he has what, 18 million followers or subscribers. So he benefits on the data center more than anyone. And if he cares so much and he cares about the waterworks and the girl crying and the people's family, he has 18 million followers on YouTube. Why didn't he just go give them generational wealth? He could just go give them a few $1 million. If he cares so much, why didn't he just go help them out? Exactly, he wouldn't be on his platform without these data centers. But he has to be, has to be one for the media. He has to buy into the media manipulation. Had the most Reddit take ever. Of course, he posted on to X, and then there's just so many comments that are just based. Like this one was really funny. AI versus the world's biggest water users. Home, industry, corn maze, rice, wheat, cattle, all water, all human water use. That's like your shower, or you flushing the toilet, or you washing your clothes. Yeah, he is pretty annoying. Like I used to like his takes because like he has some funny gaming takes and stuff, but he just shouldn't talk about anything but video games because he doesn't have any really good takes.